Everyone, thanks for clicking this video. Welcome back to the self-learning corner. If you people are new or here, then welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the principles of management. Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management. Because a lot of questions are asked from this part of business management. If it is lecturer and kpsc exams or if it is UGC net exam, lots of questions are asked from this segment. So let's discuss the 14 principles of management. Before directly dive into the topic, let's see what is management. Management means managing an activity, right? When we talk about managing an activity, we really mean that to make an activity a success, or we can say that we have some goals in our mind and we need to think about the various ways of carrying out these activities, then only we can achieve this goal. Actually, management is a process or an activity which is necessary in day-to-day life because rapid changes are occurring in the world, and these changes affect the lifestyle of the people and their wants, desires. Everything got affected. Everything will change frequently, and at the same time, they want to satisfy their basic needs and varying needs. For this purpose, or to satisfy these needs, a number of business organizations and non-business organizations are working to produce goods and services. For what? For satisfying these basic economic needs. And these organizations uses human and material resources mainly to produce goods to meet various needs of these people. All organization, whether it is business or non-business, they want to utilize all available resources at the optimum level so that the maximum production efficiency can be achieved. Then only they can achieve the maximum production efficiency. All for to achieve this, they need a skillful coordination and control of men and material, or we can say control of human and material resources. So efficient and effective management involve a better coordination and organization of human efforts, at the same time material resources, for what? To achieve the objectives of the organization. And management is a universal process. It is an old concept. So in simple words, we can say that management is a process of getting results with and through a group of people. Various definitions are here for to define management: functional concept, human relations concept, or decision making concept. There are a lot of definitions we have. Yeah, and management, what is management? It's a process, social process. A lot of characteristics are there. Anyway, when we talk about the principles of management, we know that in the early 20th century, a number of management principles already were developed for what? To assist the managerial thinking and action. And most famous names are Henry Fayol and F.W. Taylor. And they derived certain generalizations from their past experiences, practical experiences while managing an organizations or something. And at the same time, there are a lot of research works were undertaken by various writers, and these generalizations from practical experiences and research work undertaken thus can be termed as principles of management, or we can say that they are the statements of fundamental truth, and they provide guidelines for managerial decision making and action. So a principle is a basic statement of fundamental truth. And when we talk about Henry Fayol's 14 principles of management, okay, Henry Fayol is popularly known as the father of modern management, or we can say the father of general management. He mainly concentrated management at top level, actually. He discussed the principles of general management, and he says that managerial ability can be achieved like a technical ability, or it can be acquired by as any other technical ability. That's the thing. And he made mainly three significant contributions to the management concept. And firstly, he classified all business activities into technical, managerial, etc. And secondly, he identified the functions of management. And thirdly, he developed 14 principles of management. Because he has a lot of experiences while managing or in the field of management. So he listed and explained 14 principles of management, and they are very useful while we are discussing about management concepts. So we can take a look. What are they? First one is division of work. Division of work means that mainly the object of division of work is mainly to derive the benefits of specialization, or we can say that this increases the efficiency of the individual employees, because all of the work should be divided and subdivided, and it will be allocated to a number of persons, and at the same time, you know what, this makes each task simpler and easier to perform, because it is a small part of work we need to do, because we are already divided and subdivided all of the whole work, and so employees will get a small part of work and they are doing it repeatedly, and they individual acquire speed and perfection, so it is simple to perform, easier to perform, and they will get greater results, greater, there will be greater efficiency as well, and it will helps to avoid waste of time and effort and everything. This principle ensures the efficiency of the individual, and at the same time the efficiency of the organization will increase while we are applying this division of work principle. And the next thing is that parity between authority and responsibility. What do you mean by authority? Actually, authority means that it is a right to give orders and power to exact obedience, power to receive obedience, right? And responsibility means an obligation to perform the work in the manner desired and directed by authority. And this principle says that authority and responsibility should go hand in hand. They are coexisting actually. If the authority is granted to a person, then he should also be made responsible for that particular task. And also at the same time, similarly, we know that if anybody is made responsible for a task, then he should be given sufficient authority for getting the work done. Otherwise, he cannot perform the task without sufficient authority. So that is authority and responsibility. Both principles should go hand in hand actually. And the third one is discipline, right? Discipline means obedience, respect, of authority, or we can say that observance of established rules. Actually, it is a prerequisite for the smooth running of the organization, business, or enterprise. And we need this discipline on the part of workers and also on the part of the management people too. Otherwise, we cannot proceed everything. According to Fayol, he says that there we need good supervision, clear rules, and built-in system of reward and punishment for what, to maintain this discipline. That is really important, right? And next principle is that unity of command. What do you mean by that? The principle states that a subordinate should receive orders from one superior only. If there is more than one superior, then there can be a contradictory orders, and this will leads to confusion. The subordinate will get confused because he does not know whose instructions he should follow or not. So without this unity of command, we cannot achieve the discipline correctly. And also we know that loyalty divided, there will arise confusion, delay in work, and everything. It's after effects of the absence of unity of command. And the next principle, fifth principle, is unity of direction. What do you mean by unity of direction? This principle states that there should be one head and one plan for a group of activities having the same objective, which means that the efforts of all members of the organization should be directed towards a common goal. And this principle says that each group of activities having the same objective, okay, then they must have one plan of action and they must be controlled by one manager. And Fayol says that without this principle, without unity of direction, We cannot achieve unity of action, coordination of strength, focusing of effort, and everything. And unity of direction mainly focused on the functioning of the business as a whole, and unity of command mainly focus on functioning of an individual actually. And the next principle is that subordination of individual interest to general interest. This principle mainly says that individuals they have individual interest, we know, and general interest means the interest of the organization, right? Okay, we should give more, as a worker we should give more importance to the organization's interest, general interest of the organization, than our personal interest. If there is a conflict between the individual interest and organizational interest, we should give more importance to the organizational interest. Both management and their employees should subordinate their interest to the general interest of the concern. Then only the organization will survive. And the next principle is that remuneration. Fayol says that remuneration should always be fair and reasonable. It should afford maximum satisfaction to both employees and the employer. Because to ensure fair reward for the work, to ensure fair remuneration, we should determine this remuneration based on the work assigned, cost of living, demand for labor, financial position of the business, and everything. All of these facts we should consider while we are determining the remuneration of the worker. So that is the remuneration will be definitely fair and reasonable, must be. Next principle is that centralization and decentralization. What do you mean by that? Centralization means concentration of authority in the hands of a few. Few means top management. Or we can say that everything which goes to reduce the importance of subordinates role, which is centralized. And at the same time we can say that everything which goes to increase the subordinates role, that is decentralization, giving delegation of authority to the lowest levels, that is decentralization. And Fayol says that there should be a balance between this centralization and decentralization, is an important thing. And the next thing is that scalar chain. Ninth principle is scalar chain. What do you mean by scalar chain? Fayol says that scalar chain refers to a chain of superiors ranging from ultimate authority to the lowest level. And he says that there should be no order or effective communication. There should be a hierarchy channel. That is scalar chain, which is necessary for ensuring the unity of command and effective communication. According to this principle, he says that the communication should pass through this established chain of command from top to lowest level. And this scalar chain has mainly two drawbacks. First thing is it is time consuming, because as a worker, if we want to know an information, then we should follow this chain of communication, and it will take lots of time to communicate to the right person and everything, because there is an established order. So it is a time consuming process, and also there is a possibility of distortion of message while transmission, because this information is passes through different people in the order, so there is maybe a chance of distortion of messages. So these are the main drawbacks of this scalar chain. But to avoid or to overcome these drawbacks, he also suggested a creation of gangplank, which means short circuiting the chain for quick communication. Or we can say that if there is a manager, if there is two manager, right, two manager having similar positions, and they want to communicate to each other, so in this case they will directly communicate to each other. That means short circuiting the chain for quick communication, and it is also possible. And the next principle is that principle of order. This principle says that the right man should be in the right job and the right materials should be in the right place. And he says that there should be material and social order are exist is material order means a right place for everything, and social order means a right place for everyone, and everyone in its allotted place. Arrangement of people in arrangement of material. That's important. While we are discussing about principles of 14 principles of management. And the next principle is equity. Equity means justice and kindliness. Here the principle suggests that there should be a fair and just treatment for people having similar positions. For example, if an employee, if workers performing similar jobs should given similar wages, same wage rate, or they would get equal treatment, and the superior should be impartial with their while dealing with their subordinates. Equity is essential to maintain a cordial relationship between managers and employees. And the next principle is stability of tenure and personnel, which means that Fayol emphasized that managers and workers should not be shifted from their positions frequently. Because if a person shifted from one job to another, then he needs more time to adjust himself to a new work environment. And also, it will maybe deterioration of their standard of performance, and this will lead to wastage of time and effort, because not effort, wastage of time, because it will take lots of time to learn that new job, new things and everything. So stability of tenure of the personnel is more important. And 13th principle is initiative. Initiative implies that power of thinking out and executing a plan. Employees should be given adequate freedom to think and execute their ideas, and this will definitely increase their efficiency, and they can finally achieve the organizational goals with minimum effort. And it does not mean that it is a license to do whatever he likes, actually. The last principle is esprit de corps, that means union is strength. The essence of this principle is union is strength. And this principle says that the spirit of loyalty and devotion to the group to which one belongs. There should be cooperation and team spirit among members of the organization. If there is team spirit, there should be cooperation, and the employees and everyone will work towards the organization's objectives, and organization can achieve the objectives as well. So these are the 14 principles of management. If you have enjoyed this video, and if you need more videos related to lecturer and kpsc exam and UGC net commerce, then please do subscribe to my channel.